Alright, here we go. Chronicles of Acanis, Forerunners Campaign, Chapter 4, The Corner House. Resting in the town of Zagahta, the party of caravan protectors have found themselves in the center of an investigation of the death of the beloved Mayor Leafwood. Through following leads, tavern maids struck by curiosity, and autopsies done by grabby mages, the party have learned about a mysterious woman who has been making her way through the town in an attempt, seemingly, to gain entrance to the town's records vault. During their investigations, the party met a young woman by the name of Novie, who seemed to have a good insight on this mysterious woman and what her aims might be. The party also learned that when Novie was very young, she was kidnapped by a cult that was once operated in the Strayls Den, and may know something of the strange images discovered there. The party now stands in the empty room of the familiar Crimson Force Inn. You all turn your eyes up as the young Novie emerges from the back room of the bar. I apologize for how weird that one was. I didn't have a lot of time to write it, so...
It's okay. It happens.
Had time to work in a callback to Kyrath and his abuse of barmaids.
I thought you'd appreciate that. Alright. So, you all find yourselves standing in the now empty bar chamber of the Crimson Force Tavern. Now that it is empty, you get a bit more of a sense of how big this place is. Whereas before, you've been sort of crammed in with other individuals, and the bar has always been quite full of party members. You're seeing this place is well, immense, really. It's sort of the outside sort of belies what's inside. There's the raised stage area takes up probably the space of a small room. And you can see as everything's been sort of cleaned off and cleared away, everything put back into its place. There's a lot of care and effort put into how this place looks. But now with it all cleared off, and as you were traveling here, you could hear the distant beginnings of celebrations. You are now face to face with Novie as she emerges from the back room of the tavern bar, which you saw her come out of before, and know that's where the food is prepped. She's wearing plain clothes. Doesn't have her apron on any longer, and her hair is pulled up in a ponytail. Cleaned off, kept, but she does look a bit tired from her day's work. But she looks at all of the rest of you and says, "Ah, so you did come."
Yes.
Yes, my dear. We did come. Couldn't keep such an appointment waiting.
Well, to be honest, I wasn't certain how serious you guys were, but I see that this is clearly something you want to pursue. Well, before we get going, and she kind of leans up against the bar and crosses her arms, do you mind telling me what this is really about?
Whatever do you mean, my dear?
Well, I've had a chance to think about it. A group of heavily armed adventurers just happen to be looking into a single lady who just happens to be connected to the mayor, and you're all just worried about his health. It doesn't really strike me as believable.
Now, Vinda, it's alright.
By the way, Vinda, where are you?
Well, I think I was still on Mary's shoulder.
Alright, just checking. Continue. Ira, you were about to say something?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. And how I was going to say it. My dear, we are investigating a couple of things, some of which has not been made known to the general public, and it is better if we keep it at least hidden somewhat, mostly due to the circumstances surrounding said facts.
Well then, it's fortunate for you that I'm not the general public. Look, I'm not just a barmaid, okay? I know a thing or two. And, the least you can do if I'm going to be leading you off into a dark alley is show me a little trust here.
I do understand your position and your predicament, my dear. Understand that we are also trying to keep things from getting too out of hand. How well do you know Miss Heartgaze?
I mean, she's the assistant mayor. I see her once in a while when she comes in. She seems like a nice enough person, but a bit easily overwhelmed.
We're taking care of this task to help her in some of that overwhelming. There's been an incident that's happened recently that has taken her quite hard, and we're doing what we can to help her.
Oh, come on. Everyone will know in a few days anyway.
Yeah,
One person will hurt if she can keep her mouth shut.
Shouldn't we just tell her she's helping us out here anyway?
I agree.
That is about what I was hoping to hear, is whether or not the rest of my party would, or what their opinions were on this.
She looks at you all expectantly.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, didn't Tila specifically ask us not to tell anybody? Like, literally like 2 hours ago?
It is best that we keep this as quiet as possible. Novie, I hope you understand this. If we confide this with you, please keep it quiet.
She sits up straighter and nods.
And Ari will look across the party.
Fidget, fidget.
To put it bluntly, my dear, the mayor has been killed. We are currently investigating what leads we have, and we are working with Miss Heartgaze to try to figure out what happened and solve any mystery as to why this happened.
She nods slowly, but you do notice that while you might expect like a look of shock, it's more just like a look of understanding, and also there's a hint of recognition in the trust you're putting in her. And she nods and she says, "I sort of figured that out. You think that you think that the lady, the waitress, you think that she's in?"
There are several pieces of evidence that indicate she was involved, or at least doing something manipulative. There is evidence and records in the mayor's office regarding visits to the archive of somebody named L entering in, which could easily be our current target, but
Laura.
Yeah. Of Miss Laura, but there are a few things that are still outstanding, and with your testimony that you gave us earlier, it hints a bit too much of possible mind control or love potion meddling.
I never did like the look of her. Should have never let grandfather hire her. But he's kind of a sap for a sad story. Alright. Well, I appreciate you guys being honest. I was feeling funny about things, but that clears it up.
There are also a few more things that have piqued curiosity here and there. Sorry, my young friend, but your name just comes into puns. And it was interesting to hear that you had been kidnapped quite a number of years ago, and eventually we would like to hear the story, or at least I would.
You see her face sort of darkens and she looks down at the floor. Linda. You were gonna say something?
I was just saying, yeah. In response to wanting to hear about it.
Yes, well, that happened when I was really young. I don't remember much.
Of course. We figured that much, and I did as well. But that's one of the reasons why it could be a story for another day. Particularly since we have somebody to investigate soon.
Right, well, we should get going. We don't want to be around when it gets too late, when people are coming home. The party on the other side of the town should keep most people occupied for a while, and luckily for our purposes, they're going to be on the way other side from where we're going. We should be relatively clear all the way through. Not that I'm worried, of people seeing us, it's just, it looks weird, you know what I mean?
Of course.
Right. She leans over the other side of the bar, and she lifts up a sheath, and it has some sort of decorative handle hilt inside it, and she straps the belt onto her waistline, rests her hand on the hilt, and says, "Ready?"
Oh, but of course.
Alright, follow me.
And Ari will follow assuming everybody else is coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just give me a second. When I made this map, it was daytime, so I'm just switching it. Alright, is it dark for on all the places it should be?
It looks like it.
Okay, good.
Stop it about right there on those parts that I'm pinging, besides various seeps of light in the building itself, which could easily be a window.
Okay, good. Okay. You all leave the tavern, and it's about 8 o'clock, 8-ish, between 7 and 8 at night. You hear the occasional, kind of like shouts and a little bit of laughter, but then as you get further and further away from the tavern, those sounds die down. As you trek between buildings, on occasion here or there you might see a guard just keeping his knife. He looks at you, but then seeing Novie in front, just sort of waves and as you pass by. As you continue walking towards the back of town, and the further you go, you see fewer and fewer buildings and houses. And you're getting closer and closer to the wall. And as you get further away, you see that eventually there are no other buildings, except for one in a very small corner. And it's just this little corner house with a small little walkway leading up to it. You see that the house itself is rather small, and it looks like it's likely made of sandstone, like most of the other buildings in the Zagahta. There are a few small windows near this closed wooden door, and below each of these windows you see a cluster of lavender flowers, and they just sort of gently rustle in the breeze as you all approach carefully. So give me a marching order, and are we stealthing through this?
Oh, I mean, if I can get directions, I will scout ahead. Ideally.
You'd have to ask Novie. She's currently leading in front of you. As you get sort of to the... You're not quite at the house yet. You're probably a good 100, 200 feet from it. She curls up to like this little stack of boxes and barrels, and she looks at you all and she says, "This is as far as I've ever gotten. I usually stay hidden behind here and watch her."
If you could tell me where her house is, I could scout ahead.
She points to the lone building in the distance.
And that is my cue. I will stealth ahead, assuming no one interjects here.
I do. Yeah. Wait. Are we supposed to follow you at a distance or wait here till you come back?
Wait, unless you see something happen.
How long?
Give it 15 minutes.
Okay.
And yeah, I will sneak up ahead.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Yeah, I think if it ends up being a fail, I get to reroll. Let me go look again. Yeah, if I end up failing it, but that's it. Maybe that's a test. If that's something different technically.
What are you referring to?
I have scouting as one of my I have the name for it.
Is it a talent?
I think it's a talent. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a talent.
This level, if you fail a dex stealth test, you can re-roll it, but you must keep the results of the second roll.
Yep. Okay. So, you begin approaching the house. As you get closer and closer, not much changes. The house is still. You don't see any light coming from it. Nothing pours out from the windows. The door is shut. While there's a road that sort of leads up to an end stand. The house does look like it's well maintained. It's actually rather nice looking, with sort of vines crawling up the sandstone. It looks that the windows seem to be clean.
I'd like to try and peek in. Are there? You said there are no lights on?
There doesn't appear to be any light coming from within the house.
And so it's just a house. There's no like gate around it or anything.
It doesn't appear to be. A couple yards behind the house is the wall that protects Zagahta. But other than that, the only thing that surrounds this little cottage is just sand.
Yeah, so I want to sneak up and take a peek through the windows.
Okay, which window?
Just all of them one at a time. Circle the house real quick and then head back.
You can go ahead and move your token.
Let's see. Is it north or south?
Currently you are facing the west. No, the east, I'm sorry. The east.
So I need to go east on the map? Or I don't know where to move my token to.
These are the windows.
Oh, okay.
Alright, as Gorm begins scouting the perimeter, Novie looks at the rest of you and says, "So what's your guys' plan? Are you gonna go in?"
We'll look at everyone else and go, well, tactics is not necessarily my strong suit. I can fight, but again, tactics is not my strong suit. I'm more of a player.
For now, our plan is to wait.
Winter speaks up in a little bit more sluggish tone than she has spoken in the past, and says, "Maybe some of us should stay behind and keep watch. Maybe Novie and I can stay back and make sure that no one comes in."
I think the coffee was a bad idea for all of us here.
And yeah, Vinda, you're starting to sort of feel the effects and start feeling
I
a
already
little sluggish.
Remember, I already crashed. I'm kind of coming out of it, but still.
Curiosity, you're also feeling a little drained.
And then I'll make my way back.
As you are discussing your plans, you see Gorm carefully trotting through the sand, approaching you all. Because dynamic lighting is super cool, Gorm can tell you exactly what he saw.
Yep, I can see a very large part of the inside of the house. On my map, still.
Just go with it.
Alright, well my friend, what did you find out?
Not much. I only looked around the perimeter, looked through the windows. There's no one there that I can see, but there are two inner rooms that I can't look into, and a corner of the main room that I can't see into. I wouldn't mind scouting inside, but it's probably best if you join me closer to the house so you can react if things go bad.
Well, if we breach the door and go inside the house, we're going to be at least close enough to react as much as possible. There's no sense in letting somebody go in on a suicide mission.
Well, it doesn't need to be loud if one goes in alone.
Oh, absolutely, but sticking close is a bit more safer, at least tactically speaking, I assume.
Well, you wouldn't be very far. Just the door.
Quite true. I'm also quite useful up close, rather than you, my friend, who... And Ari will look at your bow and kind of point to it, who is a bit better at long distance.
Can I look around into the shadows and see if anybody is spying on us?
Sure. Make a perception searching test.
Oops, I don't know why that went twice. That was weird.
It's fine. We'll just take your first one. You look around and you see the lights of the town. You see the occasional guard patrolling a little bit further in, closer to where there are actual buildings. Other than that, though, you don't see any signs of movement or life.
And I'll continue, and I will turn around and quietly start moving back up towards the house to wait for everyone else to follow.
Well then, let us see what the let us see what light we can shed on this subject. Winter, do be careful, my dear, and keep a good close eye on Novie here. Keep her safe, and Novie, keep her safe as well.
Novie looks at Winter and back to you. Sure. I can take care of myself, but sure. And Winter's like, yep, no problem. I got this.
Yes, of course you do, dear. Stay safe, Novie.
She sort of gives you a half smile and leads Winter to further back behind the boxes. Alright, who's approaching the house?
Can I examine the other members of the party and see what kind of armor they're wearing?
Sure, go ahead. Everyone, what are you wearing?
What I am wearing is, I believe, technically leather armor.
Curiosity is wearing traveling clothes and a cloak.
Harmony is wearing a dark purple leather armor with some gray accents on it.
And Ari is wearing a light leather armor with accents of like some cloth, a hood, and that's about it.
Traveler's garb, simple blue dress.
Okay, so do I have the heaviest armor in the party then, or is Gorman Harmony wearing the same stuff?
Looking about, it looks as though you are the heavily armed.
Okay, then I'm going to step forward and volunteer to go first.
And then Ari will step in behind him and slip into the shadows as much as he possibly could.
Wait a minute, are we trying to be sneaky?
I am. I don't know about you.
I mean, it's a house. We're probably not going to be able to be
sneaky.
sneaky.
Well,
Like, he's
I'm just
always trying
thinking
to be sneaky.
maybe let's all get on the same team. I mean, if we're trying to be sneaky, let's all be sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt to try and be sneaky. If it fails, it fails. But if it
It's true.
succeeds, then we get the jump on people. Assuming there's people to be in with.
Okay, and then I'm also trying to be sneaky.
Okay, roll sneaky checks.
Stupid sneaky. What is that? Dexterity?
Dexterity, stealth.
I'm
Should I
sneaky
roll
like a
again?
disappearing cat.
Or does my previous sneaky carry over?
I would say because you're trying to move with a group, you probably need to roll new stealth.
I am A-okay with that.
Vinda is hiding in my hood.
She's hiding in your hood? Good to know.
She has total concealment.
That's what it looks like. She rolled the 19, so I figure she's hiding somewhere.
A parallel universe.
That roll is just fine.
Okay. As the large group of you tries to sneakily approach the house, you get, remember, what you're trying to do is not really stay out of sight as more as be quiet in your approaching, as you are standing in a large open field of sand, essentially, and with the moonlights beaming down upon you. But you feel like you're being pretty silent as you approach. Who's the first one to reach the house?
Well, I left first, so I won't go in, but...
Okay, where would you like to be?
Right where I put myself.
Okay.
Assuming that's not the door itself.
No, that is a window. Gorm... I'm sorry, Olav, where are you?
I guess right next to Gorm.
Do you want to be at the door?
No, I guess on the opposite of the door from him, on the other side.
So next to the other window.
Okay.
Ari?
I'll be beside Olaf, probably about right there. Just far enough back to let him swing through if he has to, but close enough that he can dash in right after him.
Okay, curiosity? Alright, you each take up positions next to each other and next to the wall of the house as you prepare for your next actions. So you're currently all crouched next to windows staring at each other.
Who shall go first?
Wait a minute. Are we going to knock on the door and announce ourselves, or just kick the door in and go in there?
I was thinking, open it quietly.
What kind of windows are these?
They're glass windows, smallish, probably as big as Olaf's head. But they're glass and closed.
So, any way to open them?
You can make an investigation check. Perception... Or no. That would... Sorry. That's right. We decided that communication investigation is different. Which is stupid. But, go ahead and make a searching test. I don't know why they... I don't know. It should be... To me, like, that should be communication interrogation.
Yeah.
Okay. And you look through, over the glass window, flying carefully, looking at all of the details. You don't see any way to open them from the outside.
Does anyone know how to pick a lock?
Not me.
No.
What did we said I could try something?
I believe it would be you, Vinda. You might be the closest, or the one who might have the most success.
Fly in the chimney. Unlock it from the inside.
That's an interesting idea.
Is there a chimney?
Yeah, you scouted around the house. There was indeed a small chimney in the back of the house.
Then I communicate the location of said chimney.
Okay. Okay, I will fly over there. And I will note that I am not glowing at the moment. That seems like,
Okay. So the chimney is over there, if you want to go ahead and move your token. Okay. So, Vinda, as you fly into, through the chimney, which is, I mean, it's a small hole, probably no bigger than a melon, but for you, that's an immensity. So you fly in, and as you come down, you see, the first thing you see is an unlit fireplace. And it seems to be like there's some leftover ash from whatever once burned here. And as you fly in, so you can see the room, you see a nice cozy room, a bit sparse in furniture, but it seems to be pretty warm and welcoming. You see a couple of chairs next to one of the windows, and you see a couple of doors to the north side of the room, but they are also closed. And directly in front of you, you see the door to the front door that your friends are all hidden behind. Go ahead and make a searching check for me. I'm sorry, just a seeing check. Vinda, go ahead and check your player, your inventory. That is what you find as you come into the fireplace.
Internet, why? This working again? Okay.
At least you. Did you hear Zeri tell you have something in your inventory?
No. What?
So as you come down through the chimney, you notice a little bit of ash, and you just see something as you come into the room. If you check your inventory, this is what you find in the ash pile.
Okay.
So, you are now in the wide main room that leads to the front door. What would you like to do?
Is there anything else around?
There's some nice looking furniture that doesn't look worn. To one side of the room, you see a stack of what looks to be bottles of some kind. In another corner is a table with 4 chairs. Looks like maybe where the dining room would be. And then you see in another corner there's a couch with a coffee table and a nice little rug. And then on the northern side of the house, you see 2 closed doors.
Is there anything on the table?
No, the table looks pretty empty.
I'll head to the main door. Try to open that up for the others.
Okay. Just make me a quick perception check.
What is it with my
I think we found
dice?
someone worse than seeing than Lexa.
What is it with my dice? I was doing okay before.
It happens.
You need to lighten up your wings so you can see.
Maybe. But I'm trying to be stealthy.
That's like super close to a critical fail.
Yeah.
You see some rather... you see what looks to be like maybe a big piece of metal leading to a handle, but it's large, and you're used to like just seeing things from a further perspective, that as you get close you're kind of confused about how this lock really works.
Use your stump points.
You do have 2 stump points.
I'm not sure what would apply here.
So here it would be exploration stunts.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, she's only got 2 stun points and nothing really fits.
Yeah, speedy search and efficient search are all that, or advantageous positioning, but speedy search would be the only thing that might come into play, or efficient, but she's not using anything.
I will say that if with your stunts, we will say it was a speedy search, and if you take another, you can roll again, but this time you're taking your time to look it over, and this will cost you about 5 minutes of time.
Sorry, guys. Apparently I'm taking a while.
Yeah, so you're all... So it's been about 3 minutes for you guys since Vinda disappeared into the house. You haven't heard anything.
So I'm supposed to roll again?
Yeah, go ahead and roll again.
Much better.
Four minutes go by.
So she's taking a little long.
Oh, that's I have no idea. I do not. I cannot communicate with her quite as easily as one would think.
Vinda, make me a strength check.
Oh boy.
Is your token location accurate?
Yeah, it is. But she's very small and she's not glowing.
So I need a perception test.
Yeah. And Vinda, roll stealth for me. As you ponder, as your friends are starting to get worried, you kind of lean back and look into the window, and you just barely see a little bit of Vinda's hair and some of her wings as she's kind of up against the doorway. And as you spot her, you all hear a click. As Vinda, you pull down the locking mechanism and unlock the door.
Why do you guys all have to make everything so big and confusing?
Are you okay?
Yeah, just the door.
The door's still closed, by the way. She's just unlocked it.
Oh.
So you're not talking through the door.
What? Okay, not even a crack or something that I could have zipped through.
No, I mean, this place is, the door's pretty well formed.
Okay, so can we say that when you opened it up and then we were talking?
Someone would like to open the door.
All that happened for us is we heard the click.
Well, and you saw her.
Yeah,
so
I
you
saw
can
her.
reason that she's unlocked it.
I mean, if no one looks like they're gonna open the door, then I'll go forward and open
I
it.
nodded Olav towards the door.
Okay, I open it up and slowly step inside.
I ready my bow.
Okay. As each of you all step up, you see the same things that Vinda saw. Wide open room. You guys can go ahead and move your tokens. Stack of bottles in one corner, a table, some closed doors. Curiosity, can you roll perception hearing for me? All right.
And then I found this.
What did you find, dear?
I'll show them the note thing.
Who do you hand it to?
Ari.
Ari, go ahead and you can look at your inventory. Olav, go ahead and give me a perception check on that. Do you have any sort of lore, cultural lore, or anything, Olav?
I don't think so. What is that under? Intelligence?
Yeah.
No, I don't have any of that stuff.
Okay.
Talents, those are called? The things that are under the... I don't remember what this game calls stuff.
Focuses. Those would be under...
Oh, yeah, abilities and focuses they're called. No, I don't have any of that stuff.
Well, no, the stuff that's underneath, like, your stats, or like...
No, the stats they're called abilities.
Okay, yeah, not a problem.
That's what this game calls them. I don't know.
Yeah, there's abilities, focuses, and talents. Okay. Looking at the bottles, Olav, you can pretty clearly tell that these are bottles of wine. They have nice labels on them. They're neatly stacked. Some of them have covered in dust, but they seem to be well kept. Gorm, you don't see anything really particular out of the ordinary. You see the ash in the fire. It looks like it was burnt recently. And Vinda hands you a small slip of paper.
Alright, I will take it and read it, and then look at Curiosity. Curiosity, satiate mind for a second. This note has something very familiar on it. I wonder if you have heard of it before, and I will show Curiosity the note.